I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT standing up here.
Just one of the many moments during the first Republican debate last month in Milwaukee. So what fireworks can we expect to see this time? With me now, the Republican National Committee Chairwoman, Ronna McDaniel, and thank you for being here today on Fox News Sunday. Thank you, Ronna. Round two is Wednesday night. Before I get to that, just last night, President Biden, speaking with the Congressional Black Caucus here in Washington, D.C., he said this about the voters in your party.
Let there be no question. Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to spread anger, hate, and division. They seek power at all costs. They're determined to destroy this democracy. I cannot watch that happen, nor can you.
So anger and hate and division and more in that. Meanwhile, we have this today from the Washington Post and ABC in a hypothetical matchup. Donald Trump leads Joe Biden in that poll by 9 points, 51-42. What do you think of that? And what do you think of the president's comments from last evening?
Well, the president, came in as this unifier. I'm going to work across the aisle, and he's been nothing like that at all. Our country is more divided than it's ever been, but we're also failing as a country. And that Washington Post poll showed that 3 out of 4 Americans feel like they're doing poorly or not as well under Joe Biden. Bidenomics is failing, crime is rising, our border is out of control, people are dying of fentanyl. Joe Biden is failing, and his approval is at 37%, with 63% of the country thinking we're on the wrong track. So that is the record of Joe Biden and why Republicans are surging and have a good chance to take back the White House in 2024.
Okay, let's talk about Wednesday now. As of now, there were 7 on stage. Is the field set? And what should viewers expect when they watch?
Yeah, the field will be set Monday night. Right now, there are 7 that have qualified, and I think you're going to see more of what you saw in Milwaukee and these candidates trying to make their case to the American people. The first vote is going to be in January of 2024, January 15th in Iowa, and I think they're trying to get that momentum as they had, and of course, President Trump's going to be in Michigan, so we'll be missing him from that debate.
Right. Donald Trump will be in Detroit. That was announced over the weekend. President Biden will be there on Tuesday. He'll be there Wednesday. Will he attend any of your primary debates?
Well, I want him to attend a debate, and he knows that. Everybody knows. I think the other candidates also want him to attend a debate. I hope that before January that he comes to a debate and participates in that process, but everybody's doing their own strategy. So the RNC's role is to create a fair, transparent process, and everyone can play their strategy as candidates as how they think they're best going to garner that nomination.
Okay, so nothing locked in right now with the former president?
No.
Okay. On the issue of abortion, you said that you wanted to see the candidates go after the issue head on after this moment in Milwaukee in August.
Can't we all agree that we should ban late-term abortions? Can't we all agree that we should encourage adoptions? Can't we all agree that doctors and nurses who don't believe in abortion shouldn't have to perform them? Can't we all agree that contraception should be available? And can't we all agree that we are not going to put a woman in jail or give her the death penalty if she gets an abortion? Let's treat this like a respectful issue that it is and humanize the situation and stop demonizing the situation.
So that was quite a moment. You also said we're not going to win if we don't talk about it. How do you want your candidates to talk about it?
Well, I'll be very clear, Bill. The Democrats in 2022 spent $350 million lying to the American people about where Republicans stood on this issue. We have to put money behind our message, and we have to put the Democrats on defense. So we can't just say it in an interview like this. Our candidates have to go on TV and say, we are for pregnancy crisis centers. We are for easier adoption. We are for humane limitations. We believe that the rest of our country agrees that there should be limitations when a baby feels pain. That's where the most of the world is. That's where Europe is. And that's where we should be as a civilized country. But where do the Democrats stand? What is an abortion they're against? 9-month, 8-month, 7-month gender selection abortions where China is? So we have to define this issue and take it back for ourselves and push out the Democrats' extremeness on this issue. And if we don't do that, they're going to spend another $350 million lying to the American people.
Okay, this could come up again Wednesday night also. Now to voting. This week, 2 major moves. Pennsylvania, I'm in a critical state. said it will automatically register voters when they get a driver's license or a state ID. And then the state of New York late in the week said it will mail a ballot to every registered voter. I know you're challenging that ruling in New York, but some believe if Republicans don't change their approach on voting, you're going to lose again. What's your strategy, Ronna?
Well, I've always been for we've got to bank as many votes and vote early as much as possible. And the party did this in 2022. We turned out 4 million more Republicans, but we've got to continue to do that. Democrats go into the courts. They try and change the laws. They want ballot harvesting. They want to get rid of voter ID. They're passing laws to allow non-citizens to vote. This is just a fact. They are trying to erode our elections, but if those laws are on the field, that's what we have to play by. And that's why we've launched the Bank Your Vote initiative, encouraging voters to vote early, bank your vote that first day of voting so that we can go chase those other swing voters or independent voters. Text bank to 80810, commit to do that. We can't, and I say this, Bill, all the time, you're a football fan, we can't win a game if we only start playing in the fourth quarter.
But you know,
we can't allow Democrats to get a huge head start.
Right,
We've got to start voting early.
Your strategy, you don't know if it's going to be successful until the last month of next year.
Well, that's why we're pushing it now. It's an education. It's getting into different states. We've launched Bank Ohio, Bank Wisconsin. We just launched Bank California with Leader McCarthy. This is something we have to educate our voters on, that they can't hold their ballot till Election Day and think we're going to just win elections.
Okay.
We have to do what the Democrats do, and bank your vote as part of that.
Just want to get to one last topic here. There's this ongoing dance between both parties on the primary calendar. The RNC just warned New Hampshire that if it moves up its primary, which is a possibility depending on what Iowa does, it's all very convoluted and deep and complex, you are threatening to take away their debate if that happens. The Republican governor of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu, did not hold back. He said this: "We will not be threatened. We will follow our law, and we will, in all caps, go first." End of story. So how's this going to work out?
Well, there was no threat on going first. Listen, I think Chris and I are on the same page on this, and I think New Hampshire and Iowa should recognize the RNC, the Republican Party. Actually, through our members, we supported Iowa having the first in the nation caucus and New Hampshire having the first in the nation primary. It's the Democrats that just walked away from those two states, not us. So we're committed to that. But the Democrats are trying to play shenanigans in Iowa, and I don't think New Hampshire should fall for that. And I hope they don't allow Democrats to mess with our primary process and our calendar, especially when they walked away from those two states. And so did Joe Biden, by the way.
We'll see how it works out. Ronna McDaniel, thank you for your time. We'll see you on Wednesday night. California, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.